Hello and welcome to Cricket 360. I'm your host, Dr. Nilesh Mehta, with another familiar face, of course, Professor Anand Desai. Professor, you looking good in a white shirt?
Thank you. Just getting along. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Doc. I suppose you were in Barbados recently. Were you?
Yeah, I was in Barbados, the 1975 World Cup winning West
Wa-
Indies team that won the first Prudential Cricket World Cup at
Wow.
Lord's
Okay.
back in
So,
June
do you have any?
1975.
Wow, that's 75 and 79. Of course, they won the first two
Right.
Prudential World Cup, as it used to be called. And so, did you tell us something about that? And have any memories? Any
Yeah,
special memories?
I
Did you meet anyone special?
I met a lot of people. Let me just
Can you
share.
share some? Yeah, yeah. Lovely. That
So,
would be lovely.
so this is, of course, the one and only Sir
Oh,
Vivian Richards.
the best batsman for me. The best batsman, right?
Right.
Uh, and what are you holding? Is that a dollar bill? What is it?
Yeah,
What are
it's
you? What's the significance of that?
well, I'm. This was at the gala, and then
Okay.
Sir Viv Richards has a $2 bill with his name inscribed on it in Antigua, and
Oh, is that? Oh, okay.
I had the dollar bill, and Sir Viv was generous enough, gracious enough to uh, sign that for me. So,
Oh,
uh,
that is
Sir Viv, as usual, looks so dapper, doesn't he?
well. I mean, for me, he's the ultimate. When he came on, it was all theater, beautiful, brilliant.
Yeah.
What lovely memories. He's my by the way, Wisdom five, right? One of the five top five, the top five. The Wisdom five, as they call it, of the 20th century. So absolute living legend.
And
Kali
here,
Chiran.
Alvin
Wow, what is
Kalisharan,
that that you have?
I met him for the first time in my life, and
Okay.
of course, have followed his career so closely, like you, Professor, growing up in India,
Uh,
and again,
such an
he give elegant
such an
left-handed
elegant
player,
batsman,
and he
left-handed,
gifted me
beautiful,
his book. He gifted me his book, Colorblind, and
wonderful.
I certainly appreciate that gesture from Alvin. Wonderful guy, very funny, by the way, very funny. Some of the stories I
I
cannot
see.
share here, but Professor, when you and I meet, we will. Of course,
Oh wow,
the captain, skipper,
the big bird. Sorry,
the,
the
the
Clive
big
Lloyd,
cat.
of course. The big bird is Joel Garner, of
Yeah.
course. Big. This
So,
is the captain, the skipper,
yeah,
probably, arguably, the greatest captain
yeah.
among the greatest captains that ever lived.
And
Brilliant. This is
I just want to share something about Sir Clive Lloyd. Of course, everybody knows about all his cricket achievements, but in his second innings of his life, he's really involved in a lot of charity that are going to make a
okay.
difference to humankind. And the human beings will forever be grateful to Sir Clive Lloyd with all the yeah, involvements that he's had over the last. This is
I
the
must
president
say,
of
I okay.
this is the
This is
president of CWI Kishore Shalo, along with the gentleman on the right is Mr. Ritesh Patel, who is
I see.
owner of one of the cricket franchises called the Samp Army. And here is
Oh, okay.
the laughing
Oh,
and jovial Alvin Kalisher, and along with
Kali,
Collis King.
calling Prof. Collis King.
Collis
Okay.
King. And here we
Yes.
are having breakfast together. Kumar Rodney of Antigua, Sir Viv, Clive, and his family. And of course,
What?
Andy Roberts and Alvin Kalisher, and having
Uh,
breakfast with them.
Andy
So,
Roberts. Wow. I mean, Gavaskar considers him probably the best bowler he faced.
right.
Wow. That
So,
is
just
that's wonderful.
it was a
Wonderful.
wonderful event. After 50 years, bringing these. Unfortunately, some of those members of the 75 team are no longer with us, but 7 of them came, including Sir Lance Gibbs also came. Derek Murray was
Okay.
present. Of course, Andy Roberts, Clive Lloyd, Collis King, and Sir Viv,
Right.
and of course Alvin Kalicharan. So it was the who's who of the
Yeah.
1975 cricket team. So it was a wonderful experience. Really blessed, and thank you to for the invitation that I was able to make it there. But moving
All right.
on,
Such
Professor.
a yes,
Moving
please.
on, moving on, Professor. Leeds Test match. From all this
Okay.
glamour and glitz in Barbados, where I was part of,
Hmm.
there was not much glamour for Shubman Gill, who was leading India for the first time in his career. The Leeds Test match, you put up 370, 371 for the opposition to chase on the last day of a Test match in England, and you have 5 centurions in your 2 innings of India, and you start off beautifully in the first innings, 3 down for like four, what is 430 odd,
Yeah.
and then you end up losing the Test match. So a lot of dissection already has occurred, but I wanted to pick your brain, Professor. I don't want to use the word what went wrong, but
Yeah.
let's start off by discussing what went right for India,
Yeah.
even though we lost the Test match. I want you to uh, hone in on that point.
Yeah. So I think, first of all, I mean, I think the top batting lineup, I think 500s. So, and Rishabh Pant, 200s in the team in one test. Shubman Gill, first test as captain and celebrating that with a century himself. KL Rahul, terrific second innings effort, but looked good in the first as well. So those are the positives for me. Jaiswal as well, a century in the first innings, but a forgettable time after that with the catching and of course we'll talk about that. But I guess these were the positives for me. I think Bumrah bowled well in the first innings, but did not have much support. So I mean, for me, the positives were was certainly the batting, but of the top order, but nothing. Yeah, that's what I would think. And of course, they were able to put England under pressure, right? So they did create opportunities. To their credit, one must say that they did create opportunities. People could have grasped those. It would have been a different game.
I want to bring up a common cricket adage: catches win matches, and
Yeah,
India dropped 5 crucial catches, right, in the first innings. And yes, you could say that you can score a century and have your name on the scoreboard, but when you drop a catch, your name does not really appear on the scorecard, does it? But
yeah.
that is what probably was one of the more important factors that led to India's defeat. Wouldn't you agree?
Certainly, I think. I mean, if you look at those catches when they were, in fact, I could count at almost 6, 7 to 8. If you look at even tight ones, even difficult ones, you expect people at this level to kind of hold on to those. Uh, but there were, as I said, there were opportunities that were created, and if you had got those wickets at those crucial times, it's the big moments that count. Against the big countries, against the big nations, particularly in Sena countries for India, particularly, it's the big moments that count. It's those crucial moments that count. You look at even something like that wicket of the no ball, right? Even if it's people are not talking about it. With Jaiswal, there are memes that are coming out already, but with Bumrah, people don't talk about it because Bumrah, right? But it's unpardonable. You bowled 3 no balls in the same over, and that's the last over, and you created that great opportunity. And a test that was not where people spoke poorly about India's fielding or catching. You had a player who's not known for his fielding take a pretty good catch. And then it came to nothing because there was a third no ball that had been bowled, and it turned out to be 99 runs heavy for India because Harry Brook was a not at that time, and he went on to score 99. So there were opportunities that were created, and certainly you're absolutely right. It's the catches that win matches. Certainly, I think if those catches had been held, it would have meant a bigger lead for India, potentially. One could say, one could argue, and it could have been a different game. And of course, coupled with that is the is just the batting collapse that India had. So if you look at these two factors led to the downfall. Clearly, I mean, there's just no mistaking that.
Now, one of the things that is not talked about too much is the
Yeah.
batting of our tail enders, right? Uh, the production from our bowlers with the bat left a lot to be desired, don't you think?
Well, one thing I'm just completely perplexed about, and something that I have shared in other forum, maybe here as well, is how is it that a country of a cricket crazy country of 140 or 1.4 billion is not able to produce people that can batters that can bowl, and more importantly bowlers that can bat, pace bowlers particularly. So we have spinners that can bat, uh, but the pace bowlers, none of the pace bowlers are able to bat. So as a result, what tends to happen is that if you want to play your three pace bowlers, you have Bumrah batting at number 9. What do you expect? I mean, it's round the corner, as I've maintained that if Bumrah, who's a qualified number 11 batsman, right? For me, he's a number 11 batsman. He comes in at 9. What do you expect? So, I mean, it was just there for I think we were asking for it. I don't think we can hope for anything. I mean, it's just hope then, right? And as it happened in the last England series when we came here, you had a Shami and Bumrah putting on that 89-run partnership, which bailed us out on that last final day, and then we won that Test match. That happens rarely. It will happen once in like 10 times, perhaps, right? But 8 or 9 times out of 10, the fundamentals being what they are, I think you're likely to go the way that we went this time against good opposition, decent opposition. That's how it will go.
If
So
I'm
that was a no-brainer for me.
if I am Gautam Gambhir, professor, at the moment, I would pull out the 1975 West Indies World Cup winning team when they played against Pakistan, and the 10th wicket partnership between Andy Roberts and Derek Murray that saved the day. And that was, everybody at the Gala said that had it not been for Andy Roberts and Derek Murray's partnership against Pakistan, that particular 10th wicket partnership, mind you,
That's right.
that
That's
changed
right.
the landscape of that team. And I think
Yeah.
as a coach, if you were to show old films, that is one film that I would bring up and show it to Bumrahs and Shamis and the Prasad Krishnas of the world. That yes, we
Great.
are being taken as a bowler, but your bat is also equally important, particularly if the top order batsmen fail, right?
But why go back that long? I mean, you look at recent times and the recent, even some of the teams. You look at Australia in the last Ashes. They were 8 down, and then the ninth wicket partnership between Cummins and Lyon,
Right.
and that's what took them through. That got them over the line in the first Test match, right? So, I mean, I think every side that I can think of, every side, and these are not even very populous nations. Let's understand: Australia, England, New Zealand. These are all much smaller than India, right? And we're talking cricket crazy, so all of them are cricket crazy. Yes, India is cricket crazy too. How is it that these small nations are able to produce a Cummins who can bat at number 8, who can hold his own, Stark who can hold his own, Lyon who will score those crucial runs when the crunch moment comes. Similarly, England, you have Vokes who has scored a century, who bats at number 8, has scored 100 against India, right? And of course, there's Chase and the other uh, uh, bowlers can also did score a few runs, right? So if you look at their three, I think when Harry Brook got out, they were 398 for 7. The seventh wicket fell at 398, and the last 3 wickets added 67. How is it that they are able to do it and we were not? And you can have a collapse in one innings, let's understand, but you had a collapse in both the innings. You had 7 for 41 in the first, and 6 for 31, and 6 for 31, yes, in the second. So you can't let that happen to you again and again, right? It
Right,
just
right,
puts my point. My problem with that is that it puts too much pressure on the people at the top,
right.
and you will always have that one good ball, right, that gets you, right, that will always happen, and it just puts
Right.
too much pressure on people at the top. So that, I think, one needs to have a balance. I would say that I think we have to now, what is, where is our scouting mechanism, where is our scouting? We always talk about scouting in IPL. We have spoken about that. Where is our scouting for Test cricket? Where are the all-rounders? Where are the, you look at 19, you talked about 1975 West Indies side, where the 10th wicket took them through. You look at 1983 Indian team, right? Where the wicket keeper, today you always talk about wicket keeper being a batsman, right? Has to be a batsman because that gives you 7 proper batsmen, six proper batsmen, and then one all-rounder, right? You had the wicket keeper in that particular squad that batted at number 10. He wasn't a qualified batsman. Syed Kirmani, I mean, he could hold his own, but you could do because you had Mohinder Ramanath, a top order batsman who could bowl, who could give you proper 12 overs. Prudential Cup, if you remember, was 60 overs. He could give you 12 overs, and then you had Kapil Dev and Roger Binney and Madan Lal. All these guys could actually bowl and bat, right? So you batted deep, and they all could will bowl their quota. So India has had all rounders. You have a Manoj Prabhakar, the case of a Manoj Prabhakar, who used to at one point in time open the batting as well as bowling. Right, you had Irfan Pathan as well. So these are all, we've had those scenarios. We've had this thing we've had somebody like a Hardik Pandya, right, who doesn't play Test cricket. He would have been very handy in England, right? But because of injury issues, and now he's just focused on the shorter format. We've lost out on a proper all rounder. Now, I don't know if Nitish Reddy can be called a qualified all rounder because he did not bowl. He did not even bowl. His franchise Sunrisers Hyderabad did not bowl him much,
Right.
right? So I mean, I think we have issues there, and I think somewhere something needs to be done in that. I'm making no bones about this. It is disappointing, seriously
Right.
disappointing, that a cricket crazy country of 1.4 billion does not have all rounders. Even you can count them literally. Pace bowling all rounders. You can't even count them on your
Yeah.
fingers.
But
You can't even do that.
yeah, moving on to
Yeah,
Edgbaston, we have a few days
yeah,
gap before the second test
yeah.
match starts, and India will have to quickly regroup. By the way, congratulations to Ben Duckett and England for
Oh,
chasing 371. Brilliant performance.
phenomenal.
Take nothing away from England. Huge congratulations to the team. But
I want
India,
to I want to mention one thing. I do want to mention. I love the English brand of cricket. I mean, Ben Stokes has just two New Zealanders, right? So let's make no mistake. There's the England squad, but it's the two New Zealanders. The
true.
coach Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes, who's actually a New Zealander,
Right.
plays for England now, of course. Who brought about an absolute revolution and have popularized Test cricket. Full marks to them. Love the way they play. Almost taken the result out of the game. Almost play like that. Right?
What what
Brilliant.
changes what changes do you see in Edgbaston for the Indian team?
Well, I think, I mean, okay, Shardul Thakur at number 8, they didn't bowl him much. So one needs to, I mean, horses for courses. So one needs to see what kind of conditions are prevailing there. But I would think that I think Kuldeep Yadav, because he brings in a different element into the mix, I think should be brought in. I think towards the second innings, I did see Prasidh Krishna bowl a little better. He just goes for a few runs, that's just something that you might want to see how you can control that. But and Siraj also, he did bowl well. There were opportunities created. He beat the batsman, inside edges, almost inside edge. I remember a few balls that he beat. So I think these three, this was the first test match. So these two, I mean, you can take time to acclimatize. So I would continue with these. Well, it just elongates the bowling, the tail. That's my problem with all these three. If you have all these three in the mix, it just there's a huge tail. But certainly, I think you need to have Kuldeep Yadav definitely in the
And by the
mix.
way, Kuldeep can
And
bat
I
a bit.
think, yeah, Arshdeep. I would bring in Arshdeep probably in place of Siraj,
Yeah, and
because I think
and
Prasid was, yeah.
and Kuldeep can bat a bit too.
Kuldeep can bat. I think even Arshdeep can bat. Plus, Arshdeep brings in the
Right.
left arm, so he can be effective against the left-handers, and he moves the ball both ways. So he can. I think in English conditions he can be potent. Plus, what might happen is that you will have Bumrah probably will play in the second test match, but they've said already that Bumrah will play 3 test matches. So my because there's a gap, Bumrah might play the second test, but the third, I'm not so sure he will, which means Arshdeep will have some experience of bowling in English conditions. So I believe that Arshdeep should play. He brings in a different element. Kuldeep for sure, because he can be quite effective against these English batsmen who don't play spin very well, right? So I mean, these are the changes. On the batting side, I don't think. I think I would give a run to. I would definitely give a run to Sai Sudarshan. He looked good in the second innings. Tarun
Right.
Nair as well. I think I would give him a run. So I wouldn't make any changes on the batting side. On the batting front, Nitish Reddy. I don't know. I mean, I think I mean, can he bowl? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean, those I guess that's the confidence that the and how what form he is in, how he's bowling in the nets, etc. So I guess that's a call that the team management will take. But for me, Ashdeep and Kuldeep Yadav for sure.
Well, I was clearly more excited about my trip to Barbados rather than the result at Leeds. And on that note, I want to thank Professor for chiming in today from the city of Mumbai in the state of Maharashtra in India. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Thank you.